And turning our attention to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hezbollah, let's bring in Elijah Magnier. He's a military and political analyst and joining us live from Brussels. Good to see you, Elijah. Dahia has been struck so many times over the past month. Do we have an idea of how much of Hezbollah's military resources are there? What is Israel doing with these strikes on a densely populated residential area?
Thank you for having me. Every day when there are casualties in Israel inflicted by Hezbollah, the retaliation from Israel comes against the suburb of Beirut and the south of Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley by destroying several buildings. So yesterday there were 7 people reported killed in Israel, and this is why the level of intensity of the bombardment with no strategic value has been registered in the suburb of Beirut. And we have seen so many buildings destroyed to increase the damage on the reconstruction. But it's not the buildings that are destroyed on their own, but also all the surrounding buildings that are damaged by the heavy bombardments that Israel is inflicting on the heavily dense population and suburb of Beirut.
Yeah,
now,
it's really interesting that you see this as a response to a particularly deadly day in Israel with 7 people killed. 4 of them were actually Thai foreign workers. Israel has recorded its worst month for military deaths this year in October. At least 65 soldiers killed in Gaza and Lebanon, at least 35 killed in southern Lebanon, though Hezbollah says that number is closer to 90. Do these deaths have an impact on the military or the government's calculations? It sounds like you're saying they very much do, and how the Israeli government responds by carrying out such strikes.
Well, in the plan of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who revealed it yesterday in his last speech, he has no intention to stop the war. Therefore, in his mind, the number of casualties that his army is suffering from is accepted and acceptable in comparison to what he, in his plan, he is achieving in Lebanon. Because what he said, he wants to continue the war, and he wants to make sure that he can be the supervisor of the United Nations Security Council 1559 and 1701. Therefore, he put on the table an impossible demand that attack the mere sovereignty of Lebanon by giving himself the freedom to go to Lebanon whenever he wants, because this is what inspection is about. And basically what he's saying, I will continue the war. So he's no longer counting the casualties because they are still acceptable in a military approach. And he thinks that there are not, it is not a very high number for him to change his mind. On the contrary, he's still trying to push all along the 100-kilometer borders and try to push his 5 divisions more in Lebanese territory.
Military analyst Elijah Magnier, thank you very much for your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.